Hello, good afternoon, greetings, and welcome. The rain is pouring. It feels like I haven't seen the sun for days because England is experiencing autumn and moving into winter, which is hilarity. And the magpie is casting. That's right, keeping the intro upbeat. We're coming at you guys with a live 1 versus 1 battle featuring spawning in the north. It's going to be the United Kingdom forces of HOI, Vulpine.L. And spawning in the south, it's going to be a returning player, Disturb1ng. Which is clearly supposed to say disturbing, which is what I will call him. The map today is going to be Vulpine.L approach. Now, we've had this map quite a lot on the channel recently. Not much I can do about that. The top 3 games in the live games lobby were all on this map for some reason, so I don't know. People must be vetoing everything else somehow and just playing on this one in 1v1? I don't know. But anyway, I'm not sad to see this map, if I'm honest. I actually really like this map. I think it's one of the more balanced ones, and it hasn't ever let me down, I don't think. I've never watched a game on this map where I've just thought, well, this is boring. So I'm kind of happy to cast it again, but I do apologise for this map appearing so frequently on the channel. Seems like we're just going to have our first scuffle here. Some Volks Grenadiers going to be running into some Tommies here. The Disturb1ng just creeping on into position. It's going to reveal itself there, and the Tommies are going to get some rounds into that for free. You've got to be careful with that. This thing does give away veterancy. You don't want to just let your opponent's infantry take pot shots at it for free. Seems like we've got Storm Pioneers there getting right on up on the right flank, going straight for the resource points. So canny tactics there from Disturbing. The build order from our overcommand player, Volks into Volks. The build order from our UK Forces player, Tommies into Vickers. So pretty standard stuff from both teams, nothing out of the ordinary there. Liking the Vickers as either second or third squad out of Brits. I've been playing Brits quite a lot recently actually, and I just think you're best served mixing a Vickers in one of your first 3 units. So that's my take on the British. I just think the Vickers, yeah, it costs 280, but it's got mega damage, and it's at its strongest at this early stage in the game, if you ask me. So I think that's really cool. Also, by getting the Vickers out early, you can get some veterancy onto it. You can develop that 1-star veterancy ability, and then whenever you put it in a building, it's got 25% extra range, and that is quite good. That's pretty dominating. I mean, if you were to get this thing up to 1-star veterancy and then post it in this building, its range would extend up to here pretty much, or maybe even just a whisker further, and that is pretty much your opponent's base. That is their doorstep, so that could be the centerpiece of a siege, that could be the centerpiece of a lockout, basically. So anyway, the Disturb1ng is returning to base, as we see here. Looks like it's going to set down as the Battle Group at HQ. Now, you all know my opinion on building the Battle Group at HQ this close to your main HQ building. I think it's a waste of resources. I think even just putting it here would be more advantageous, but ideally on this map I like positioning it just here, or if you're feeling a little bit left and or right field, you can plop it here, or where's the spot? Yeah, just here on this side I quite like. So I don't really favour deploying it on either flank particularly though, so my favoured position for deploying the Disturb1ng is anywhere in this box, I would say. Is good, depending on how you feel, depending on which team you're up against. If it's a team with easy access to flamethrowers, I like to keep it away from buildings. And if it's a team which has a lot of early aggression, I like putting it behind these walls. But anyway, so the Vickers is going to get set up in this building, going to start hammering on these Volks Grenadiers. They're going to find some cover nicely. 2 squads of Tommies here, 1 with medkits already, so we've got a platoon command post has been established for Vulpine. Going to start doing a number on these Tommies. Look to see these Tommies lose this fight, although they don't seem to be at the moment. And if I'm not much mistaken, I believe our British player has actually elected to get the 5-man squad upgrade. No, I take it back. No, he's just lost more Tommies than I suspected. These Volks Grenadiers trading pretty well for themselves, up to half a level of veterancy. I mean, the heavy cover is definitely helping, but anyway, they're going to fall back. Realising that the trading there is not running his way is disturbing, so he's going to pull those units back. We've got Royal Engineers on the field. The Vickers is going to get caught as it just came out the building, so that's going to set itself up and immediately start hooting into these Volks Grenadiers. The Storm Pioneers in the north have gone unopposed so far, and they're right up to the British base. I don't think they've even been scouted. But if Vulpine's feeling smart today, he'll have figured out that he hasn't seen any Storm Pioneers, and the only place they can be is up in the north. So he probably, it is an option that Vulpine may know about them. Let's put it that way. The veterancy on the Vickers gun up to half of a rank, so just half a star left to go till it gets that extended range. Here's that platoon command post that I was on about earlier. That has come down. The battle group at HQ has also finished, so we could see We could see Disturbing's choice of a light gun, infrared half-track, or a Jagdpanzer as this game moves forward. And indeed, you know, he gets more than one choice. Great thing about building buildings in this game, you can build as many units as you can afford out of them. You're not just limited to one per building. There you go, top tip. Magpie's pro tip for the day is actually steeped in sarcasm. And anyway, so it looks like we've got some mines coming down here. 2 squads of Royal Engineers just posting some mines. That's some cunning stuff. MG34 going to come out, and that means that Disturbing has chosen his commander. The doctrine he's opted to go for is the Luftwaffe Ground Forces doctrine. I'm sure you're all quite familiar with that one by now, so I won't overview the abilities. One of the commanders that's been in the game since the Overcommand West forces were released. Now, what I'd quite like to see, if he sends this squad of Volks over to here, hops the wall and starts running down the road, sends this squad of Volks to hide here, and then coordinated timing, run 1 squad of Volks down each side, get an incendiary grenade in there whilst your MG34 moves up to behind the sandbags or into this building. That's how you take this position out, and then you can put your MG34 in this building and have a really dominant position. Wow, this is a Beaufort Vulpine. Yeah, loving it. So we don't often see Beaufort research these days. Ever since the nerf, everyone's kind of got into their heads that, oh no, Beauforts are very bad. Oh, they're a really bad unit now. But well, actually, they still cane damage out, and they still have a horrendously good suppressing indirect fire ability, which is really good. My frame rate is suffering for some reason. I wonder why that is. Anyway, Beaufort's still pretty good, in my opinion. So the powerful anti-aircraft piece has now finished. Looks like we've got a fight going on around this building. The Tommies are going to be the ones to garrison it, but there is an incendiary grenade in that building, so they'll have to get out. There they go. Volks Grenadiers standing here. Now, is this squad too close to the fire? They may have been a little bit too close there. And that was a bit of a flash fallback. Probably well-timed to avoid losing a ton of units. So, okay, I can get behind that fallback. That is fair enough. And so those units are going to fall back to the base. The Storm Pioneers now deciding to come into the fight. They've been idle for some time, I feel like. They haven't been used at all. They're going to come in and try and get the drop on this Vickers, which is going to see them. And I imagine the gun will reposition to this side of the building. These guys, these Storm Pioneers really want to hop this wall here, and then they can just start pounding some damage into this Vickers gun. As it is, they kind of revealed themselves coming across the open, so the British player Vulpine does know that they're there. Here comes the response. It's 2 squads of engineers. Disturbing. You're going to need to do something with these guys. You can't just reveal your Storm Pioneers and then do nothing with them, especially if they're not backed up at all. Anyway, here comes the second Schwerer of Max Schlepper. He's got the fuel, he's got the manpower, so look to see a Schwerer Panzer HQ. That's the flak gun HQ being deployed somewhere over there. I don't mind its positioning there. Yep, looks like it's going to throw it down there. You can see it on the minimap. The icon has now appeared, so as we see, the Storm Pioneers are going to coordinate their assault like minefield in a fantastic position. The Beaufort is going to chop in as well, and that is instantly going to kill 7 Volks Grenadiers. That is a killing ground. That is what we call a choke point, well taken advantage of there by Vulpine. So savvy play from the British player. Nice to see. The Vickers machine gun is forced to fall back, but it gets out of there with 1 man. The Storm Pioneer is going to get some veterancy out of that, nearly up to 1 star of veterancy. Now these Volks Grenadiers are going to try and capture this. I'm a little concerned for Disturbing. He's behind by like 126 victory points. That's a worrying place to be at this stage in the game. We're Beaufort again providing a very good hard point here. So anyway, yeah, a little bit concerned that he's falling behind in the score so significantly. He never grabbed this point, and if he'd have grabbed that point, this score difference here would be like half of what it is. So risky play indeed. Here comes the indirect fire ability from the Beaufort, so you can see these suppressing fragmentation rounds dropping here. That's going to stop the Volks Grenadiers from capturing and enable Vulpine to extend his score lead even further. So I really like that, because normally the main thing that you have to keep an eye on, the main concern, I would say, for the British forces as you enter the mid-game is that you're usually at a points deficit and you need to work back using your stronger armour and your really powerful British units to kind of come back from that deficit. If you're at an advantage moving into the mid-game, it's like easy mode, you know? You don't even have to do that well. You can just flail about and it feels like you kind of just win. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a ludicrously talented player. Well, I don't know. I'm not, by the way. So anyway, Storm Pioneers, they're reinforced rearm. They're going to come back out. I'd love to see them just grab this point, but it looks like they're going to angle for a fight here, which seems fair. 2 squads of Volks Grenadiers kind of milling about in the open. Now, the Vickers gun is probably reinforced, so yeah, that's going to deploy in a pretty good position. Actually, you know what? I take that back. I'm not really sure about this. Oh, you know what? Actually, yeah, it's going to get a great angle against these Volks Grenadiers. There it is. He needs to bring these guys in and go for an incendiary. These guys here need to start moving and go for an incendiary. But the Storm Pioneers, they're going to be the choice. They're going to come in, they're butchering these Royal Engineers. They're doing really good. The Vickers needs to divert its fire, and it is, but it's a little late. He needs to get this last man out of the arc. There we go. That's going to force the fallback. Here come the other Volks Grenadiers. A bit late, if you ask me. Late to the party. We've got a British unit up here in the north. That's Royal Engineers. That's going to be capturing those points. Now, finally, Disturbing does hold a victory point in the middle of the map. That's good. He also has a cloaked Rakettenwerfer here, and I can hear a light gun firing. Here it is, right at the back. Remember, ever since the October 29th patch, these things have to be manually positioned, so he's going to have to take care of the arc on that light gun himself, which I think that's a really positive change because it just enables players with skill to differentiate themselves from players without. It's just one more thing that you have to be on top of, one more thing that it's just another skill-determining element to the game. So I would like them to actually have a firing arc on regular mortar squads. I think that would be really cool, and introduce that for Vermax and Soviet and everyone else against mortar. Anyway, MG34 finds itself in a fantastic position, going to suppress a bunch of infantry, and I feel like this is the first really good fight that Disturbing has taken. Butchering these Tommies here is in a really good position, but he has to look out. This Beaufort, wow, it's being taken out by the Kettenwerfer. Savvy play from Disturbing. This is a fantastic counter. He's doing really good damage here. Vickers gun's going to come forward, and that's going to push the Rakettenwerfer back, you have to think. No, it's not. Is he going to get this Beaufort like this? This is great, because he's just using attack ground, you see, on this Rakettenwerfer. He's also got a light gun firing in. So this should bring the Beaufort down. This should bring it down. And, oh, Fallschirmjäger has been deployed from this building. Seems like they're instantly going to get pinned down, though, by the Vickers gun. So, slightly sad news for those Fallschirmjägers. Very expensive infantry, so he probably wants to pull them back sooner rather than later. And I kind of think that, like, between the Ligue and the Rakettenwerfer, he's going to get this. Anyway, a glider has been deployed. It's landed here. The forward air landing field officer has come out. And because we've got him on the field, we know that we've got the Vanguard Operations Regiment doctrine. And now we've got a good fight here. A load of Tommy's Royal Engineers coming in from the back. They want to try and save the Beaufort. It's going to throw down brace. 2 squads of Royal Engineers going to start repairing, and I reckon he's going to save that. 2 squads of Tommies moving in. The 5-man squad upgrade is good. Bundle grenade and a Royal Engine and a light gammon bomb being exchanged there. Very wounded Volk squad and Fallschirmjäger is going to get out. This Vickers on 1 man is going to stay and fight. The Beaufort's crew was killed, but the actual machine gun is alive, so he's going to want to save that. And before anyone thinks, well, Magpie 42 of the Beaufort is not a machine gun, actually, check yourself before you wreck yourself. The Beaufort is basically a very big machine gun. Like, mechanically, that is what it is. I'm probably not quite right calling it a machine gun. It's probably like classified as like AAA or something, I don't know. But it is basically a very big machine gun. It's a very simple piece of equipment, which is, I guess, why it's so popular. So, anyway, this light gun is up to 1-star veterans here. It's been doing very well, but it is under fire now from a 5-man squad of Tommies. We're inflicting really decent damage. Ooh, what was that? Somebody's using an incendiary grenade. Wow, these Tommies getting burnt to a cinder. They're going to have to fall back. Here's the forward air landing field officer, though. These silent stems don't take prisoners, but bear in mind they were nerfed, although apparently still quite potent. The October the 29th patch did nerf them. Their rate of fire is now greatly reduced, but they fire in much longer bursts. So, we'll have to see how they handle now. So, let's keep an eye on them, and I really hope that our British commander here, Vulpine, I hope that he builds a squad of commandos, because that would be a really good way to see the changes in effect. Anyway, this light gun is still just hooning in for great damage. Gets another man, 7 kills, nearly 2-star vet, which is pretty early. The Beaufort gets remanned, but it's still quite low on health, so I'm not sure if this is a bit of a lost cause, because, I mean, by remanning it and then bracing it, it's not actually doing anything other than being a target again. So I'm not sure I agree with the choice to reman and go for that one. I don't know, not sure about it. MG34 here in a great position. I'd love to see that push up into this building. That would establish a lockdown on all these forces. And if you look at the map, what I was saying about this being the first good fight Disturbing has taken, here's a gammon bomb. Oh, sorry, no, my bad, it's a cluster bomb. The Fallschirmjäger are in a great position, actually, to get that bomb. And they're not going to get the kill on the Beaufort. Anyway, what I was saying earlier about how Disturbing was taking a good fight here, he seems to have actually taken that advantage and run with it. If you look at the map, it's like 70-30 over command British right now. And oh, this MG34, does the arc extend to the here? It does extend, but he's going to have to redeploy the MG anyway. It's wise to do so. These Volksgrenadiers really want to get behind this wall. I'm not sure about bringing them forwards. Now, if he focuses the MG as he should, oh, an incendiary comes down. The MG gets deployed and starts opening up. The Volks get promoted to 3 stars, and Disturbing, doing what I haven't seen in some time now, actually taking a good fight with Overcommand. That seems like a little bit of a whimsical statement, but, you know, like, I just see Overcommand players dying slow deaths these games when I cast them on the ladder. But anyway, so yeah, that's pretty cool. Wow, the Ligue is still hooning in for damage. I'm really glad to see that the Ligue is still a useful unit, even though it received such heavy nerfs. The nerfs were clearly in order. Like, I'll agree with that. I just think that it was the first time the Ligue had ever been good. And as somebody who's used the Ligue since Overcommand came out, I was really glad that it was actually good for a change. But I'm still glad that it is still usable. This is nice. Anyway. Royal Engineers going to grab this point. He needs to just send one squad. I'd preferably Royal Engineers out to the north just to grab this point and start joining the dots between all of these ones and just kind of... Because there's no real overcommand forces up there. The nearest thing is this Flak Panzer HQ. Sorry, this Schwerer Panzer HQ. And that doesn't extend... I mean, the line of fire will not stop British forces from capturing down the back of the map there. So that would be a smart choice. If Vulpine can spare a squad, I'd like to see him do that. I apologise once again for the frame rate. After this game, I will have a quick restart and see if that helps out. The frame rate is a little choppy right now, much choppier than I'm used to. Anyway, here comes 2 squads of Tommies. There's a 6-pounder at the back. Air Landing Field Officer is going to lead the charge. Let's see if Vulpine remembers to use the, here it is, Officer Charge. It only costs 15 munitions, and my goodness, is it really good. I love that ability. I use it all the time, every time with the Brits. It's super good. 15 munitions, makes your dude sprint and deal tons of damage. A Jagdpanzer, the fuel spending of choice, the weapon of choice for disturbing. I like this. Jagdpanzer is one of my favourite pet units. Not many people use it, and certainly not many people include it as just part of their build. Clearly this is... What I mean by that is Disturbing has just built this unit as a matter of course. It's not like he's floundering and desperately dying to a load of tanks and needs an answer. This is just a unit which he's using as a staple in his build. He's built it preemptively. Ahead of any British armour coming out onto the field. British armour coming out onto the field. There is a lot of fuel stacked up for Vulpine. He's got enough fuel where he can buy this and then build a tank straight away when it's finished. So I'd love to see him go for the company command post. I think Vulpine's delaying this a little too long. Possibly he's saving for something? I'm not sure what that would be. Wow, British forces, German forces have grabbed this Vickers gun. That is inflicting hell upon the British forces. And I can't quite believe what I'm seeing here. After getting off to a great start, which British forces seldom do, it seems that he's kind of actually falling behind now. Vulpine has kind of lost most of the map. He's pushing out to the north, which I really like, but he lost a few units, took a couple of bad fights. Disturbing got a really good handle on things in this area of the map, and Vulpine seems to be behind. It seems that Disturbing has identified where this command glider is. Let me just turn on Fog of War here and switch to Disturbing's point of view. Yeah, he knows that the glider is there, and he's going to use the lag to destroy it. Now, this is... I'm not going to call it a bug, but this is a thing that bothers me about the British forces. You spend 540 manpower to call in this glider. Some of that value is in the forward air landing field officer, but some of that value is in having this glider which can train medics, it can build commandos, and it's also a forward fallback point.
Position has been destroyed.
Now, there is no way to repair this glider, and I think that you should be able to repair it, because it's very fragile, and, if you can't repair it, it's just it's never going to last very long against any player who knows at all what they're doing, so... I think that should be... I think that this structure should be repairable. As for the positioning for Vulpine.L, I think that this feels a little bit forced. Clearly, the Axis forces were on the doorstep of his base, and he didn't have a lot of available landing zones that were going to work for this glider. So that's a shame. This is a little bit forced. I'm just trying to think where I would rather have landed it. Possibly here? I don't know. It's pretty tricky, actually. There's no good spots right now. So anyway, seems like the light gun is going to push forward into this location. It's now in range to actually start suppressing the Brits' fallback point and their base. That is pretty dangerous times. The company command post has finished, and Vulpine has 120 fuel. He doesn't quite have the manpower for any of the British armoured units, but he will very soon, and it seems that he's... Oh no, he has spent the manpower to reinforce his units, so I was going to say maybe he's going to save and just buy an armoured unit rather than reinforcing his units, but... that's not going to be the case. We might see a squad wipe here on a 2-star squad of Royal Engineers. That engineer... Oh, he gets gunned down. That is unlucky for Vulpine. I really thought he was going to get out there. And things looking pretty dire for the British player, actually. This is like a real... Wow, Oversoldat now joining the fight. And they've got the LMG 34 upgrade. So that is quite the pokey unit. We've got this redundant Rakettenwerfer and Jagdpanzer just chilling at the back here. And this is a game which Disturbing is firmly in control of. Now, we do have some fuel spending at last for the British player. He's gone for the Centaur. I will have to see what he's able to do, but I don't think he's even seen the Jagdpanzer, and I think if he knew there was a Jagdpanzer, he would not go for the Centaur. Because the Centaur, it's okay if you have control over more of the map, even against the Jagdpanzer, because you can kind of run it around, play kind of, cat and mouse with the Jagdpanzer, and still get a lot of work against infantry done when they expose themselves. But when your operational area for the Centaur is reduced to like this, like from here to here, like that is the safe operational area for that Centaur, then the Jagdpanzer can really just wreck your day. Whoa, these Open Command forces are just taking a massive dive right into the Vickers K base defense machine guns. Not sure what's going on here, but I have enough faith in Disturb1ng's play so far that I don't think he's making an error. I think he was just trying to creep close enough and get a bundle grenade or something onto this gun, or maybe finish off the air landing field offset. Anyway, here comes the Centaur. As soon as that gets seen, look to see this Jagdpanzer start moving. We've got a bit of a scuffle up here in the north. Some Royal Engineers going to be seen off by these Storm Pioneers. So Royal Engineers falling back. Here comes the Centaur, but that is never a fast unit at the best of times. So that's not going to be able to catch those Storm Pioneers. Now here comes the Jagdpanzer. Look to see the Rakettenwerfer turn as well. It may swivel, and here we're going to have a shot taken, and there's a good hit. The Jagdpanzer doesn't really take prisoners. Wow, looks like he's determined to try and get the Centaur, but I don't really like this when there's a Jagdpanzer here. Sorry, he's determined to get the light gun, sorry, with the Centaur. So I don't think that that's really going to be a makeable play. Committing all his forces to the north right now, frantically looking to grab some points, which is a really savvy move. I like that. The Jagdpanzer's going to keep looking. It sees the Centaur, so it's going to turn towards it. It needs to just turn a little bit sharper if he wants to get another shot. Now, where's the Rakettenwerfer? That has not moved. So this Centaur is a little bit deep now. I'm not sure about that. There we go. He's going to reverse move it out and just take one more shot into the rear arm of the Centaur, and it's a hit. So that's pretty good. 6-pounders come forward to help though, and that's going to force the Jagdpanzer to keep back. And I like this, by using the Centaur with the 6-pounder, that actually establishes a region of control around here, which is a vast expansion over what was previously this area for the British. So kind of just about breaking out. But here comes a sledgehammer of Axis infantry that forces the 6-pounder back. A grenade is thrown, but it's only going to get one Fallschirmjäger. These air landing field officers in his squad, he's going to have to get back. The Centaur only somewhat repaired. The Jagdpanzer comes forward aggressively, takes another shot into the Centaur, which is now very wounded. It's also providing massive attack onto these units, and some kind of, it's Valiant Assault has been used. That is the mark of an Open Command commander who is very comfortable with this doctrine. Most people use this doctrine and never use Valiant Assault, they just forget about it. But if you're going to use it, now's the time. I still think it's probably a good idea to pull back some of these troops. Wow, the Jagdpanzer's coming in for like the biggest dive in history. He's just not worried about the 6-pounder at all. Whoa, and the Centaur is going to come back round. The Rakettenwerfer may turn and get it, but I think the Jagdpanzer should be fast enough to just come and take this shot. He needs to either rotate or move, but not both. Needs to pull back this 5-star squad here. That will be a painful loss. The Centaur is going to get it, but I think he's going to get the Centaur. And that's probably a trade you're okay with. 5-star squad of Volks for a Centaur. I don't know, actually. I'm on the fence about that one. I like Volks, you know, I'm a big fan of them. And I think that Centaur, you didn't need to make that trade. I think you would have picked it up sooner rather than later. Anyway, bundle grenade comes down. Looks like the Fallschirmjäger is going to be forfeit as well. That Bren gun doesn't take prisoners, and indeed, yep, there it goes. So, and now the Jagdpanzer goes down as well. Uh-oh, Disturb1ng, you have been guilty of overextending. So, he's lost a 5-star squad of Volks Grenadiers. He's lost like a 2-star squad of Fallschirmjägers, and he's lost his Jagdpanzer 4. So this has gone from being a cakewalk and a game which there was no way for Vulpine to get back into, to actually being a game where Vulpine, like, look, he's moving out, he's taking some points, the siege has ended, he's happy to come back out, he's got a reasonably balanced force. Yes, it's not very big, no, it's not like the best British force in the game, but he's back in this game now. So look, the light gun's going to have to be pushed back, it's taking fire from a Bren gun, equipped Tommy squad, which is at 3 stars. Now, Panzer IV is on the field. I kind of like this choice. I think a Panther would have been better. He had the fuel, he had the manpower for it, so this is clearly a conscious decision to go for the Panzer IV and maybe back it up with a fast Lukes or something, a Panzer II behind it. Not sure, we'll see what he decides. Like I say, I've got enough faith in Disturb1ng's playstyle from what I've seen that I think he wouldn't have gone for this Panzer IV by accident. So anyway, these Tommies are wrecking these Volks, and it would be a shame to see them hung out to dry. No, there they go, they're going to get the hell out of there, and I would like to see the fallback come down on them as well. MG34 kind of in an awkward position, that needs to turn right now, and it does. Is it going to be in time? No, it's not even turning, it's just going to get out of there. Here comes another MG34, and I like this quite a lot. So he's got 2 MG34s and a Vickers, that is a lot of stuff. Anyway, here comes the Panzer IV, let's check the camo on that, seems like none. I suppose like the Jagdpanzer, yeah. Pardon me, he has enough munitions for the MG34, sorry, the MG42 pistol well. However, I don't think he can go for it, simply because he's low on munitions and he'd probably like to have enough for a bundle grenade or an incendiary grenade, that kind of thing, moving forwards. So anyway, yeah, here comes the Panzer IV. Not quite sure. The 6-pounder is still on the field, and there is quite some veterancy on that unit. It has managed to kill 2 infantry. Impressive. Impressive. He's also got the Rakettenwerfer. Wow! So on top of the Volks and the Fallschirmjägers, a Rakettenwerfer was lost in that overextension from Disturb1ng, so that was quite the bad move, really. Not sure about the facing on this Panzer IV either. He just needs to turn that. I don't like running around with side and rear armour facing your foe. It's like a Claymore, you know, you always want the front towards enemy. Anyway, here comes some Tommies and an air landing field officer. Now the Panzer IV here, kind of wishing it had the pin-mounted MG42 upgrade, but it's still going to do some good. It is still definitely relevant against these units. Oversoldat, going to look to get into a building, I suppose. He needs to be careful. He needs to watch out for the inevitable gammon bomb off of these off of this air landing field officer. Some kind of artillery ability used here, and it appears to be the Hawker Typhoons. They're going to come in and do the best they can. Bundle grenade comes out for the Oversoldat. That's going to be a miss, but they're still going to force back these units. They were suppressed with the MG34, but the Hawker Typhoons unable to find the Panzer IV for any real damage. That is quite unlucky. Vulpine, I feel like he's been unlucky a few times this game actually. Oversoldat, and again in a cracking position, they're going to find themselves a possible squad wipe. Unlikely though, but they are going to see these Tommies off. Let's see, this is an awkwardly positioned Roquette Worth. It seems like he's decided to sacrifice this Roquette Worth. It seems like he's done. No, he's going to fall it back. Confused about what that Roquette Worth was doing there then. 2 6-pounders in position here, they're going to get run at. Now he needs to put the metal detector away on these Storm Pioneers, but I think even if he doesn't, he'll have enough DPS here to take down at least one of these 6-pounders. I think, unless he focuses the Roquette Worth, that's what he's doing. I'm not sure, the damage is not really... Oh yeah, no, he gets one of the 6-pounders. 3-star squad of Tommies here, and a new Centaur, sorry I didn't see this one being built, new Centaur comes out, that's going to take out this MG team. Meanwhile, Falshamigas, wow, he's just not afraid to run into his enemy's base defences, is he? Anyway, these Royal Engineers are going to get forced back, maybe squad wipe, keep your eye on the top left to look out for them, they're going to take out. The Panzer IV is going to come and have a go at this Centaur, and that will see that retreat pretty rapidly, I would have thought. Now, one potential weakness here for Disturbing, one potential weakness is his anti-tank right now is only this Panzer IV, and there are 2 6-pounders. I don't know if this feels like an overextension. Oh, I don't know about this. It's only a Centaur, mate. You don't have to risk it. 2 6-pounders is it's 1 6-pounder and a Roquette. My bad. Wow, he's up for it. He is up for this trade. Wow, and he's going to use a combat blitz to sit there in his opponent's face. No, he is going to give it an order, but that should be a dead Panzer IV. Not sure I like the trade there again. I mean, you didn't have to take that. Why give your opponent the hope? Why not just damage the Centaur up to hell? It's going to take 10 years to repair. Get your Panzer back here, and you can go for it whenever you want. You don't have to take the fight there. I'm not sure I like that. Panzer IV, of course, is a lot more expensive than a Centaur as well. Let's not forget. So 135 fuel there, the Panzer IV, for 100 on the Centaur. So anyway, Vickers gun in a great position here. That's going to be doing great damage, and Vulpine's going to choose this moment to GG out of this game. And you have to feel like with just 5 units remaining and most of his units in the suppressing arc of this Vickers, his position there was not the strongest. So I can't blame him for signing out GGing at that moment. So yeah, thank you very much to our 2 players, Vulpine and Disturb1ng, for that game. An entertaining game. I'm surprised after the start that Vulpine got off to that he was unable to have a really good mid game. But Disturbing just took a really good fight with canny MG34 positioning in this area of the map and was able to build upon that advantage to build a sort of position of dominance based around here, which kind of locked the British player in their base. And that's what Falmianville is all about. So Disturbing there. Displaying a keen understanding not only of the Overcommand forces but also the map. So good for him. So thank you very much for watching. I'm going to go and sort out these frame rate issues now and probably do another cast. So look to see that uploaded later today. And till such time, this is Magpie842 signing out.